Shalom, family, and aloha from Maui, Hawaii. This is your sister Chayah with the Melchizedek News, top 7 and 7-ish. That's right, I said 7-ish because, Sister Chayah, sometimes I can be a little long-winded. But, I'm not the only one. I grew up in the old school Pentecostal churches, so sometimes I just need a little extra time. I pray that you all are well on this Tuesday, May 21st. Hallelujah. This is the Melchizedek Network, the network that represents for the true Messiah, the King of Kings. I'm going to start with the weather, family, because there is so much developing with the weather, especially today and tomorrow in the heartland and in the Midwest. There are severe threats right now for tornadoes, high winds, as well as large hail through the heartland, Midwest. And we're going to start there with Fox News. But also, just so you know, in the link to the description of this video, my boy, my brother, Max Velocity, he is right now live covering this severe weather alert. And you can click the link. But we're going to start with Fox, shall we?
I've got one that can see.
You're doggone right you do.
The focus has been more so the Mid-South, the lower Mississippi Valley, for the potential of these storms turning severe. I mean, it's all associated with the same thing, but slightly different dynamics tomorrow that we have.
You get a little resurgence of energy from the south with the front slowing down. So the Storm Prediction Center now talking about that threat further to the south. You do get a little bit of a cap in place through parts of Texas and Oklahoma. You have warm air, not just at the low levels, but further into the mid levels before you get to some of that colder air. So being able to burst through that cap, that layer of warm air, and depending on how deep it is, will be one of the things. But I mean, already that level 3 threat issued in through portions of Texas, Dallas included in that, through the Red River Valley, and then all the way into.
You heard her. She said Dallas, Texas was included in that. We still got over 100,000 without power in Houston. So family, there is so much going on with the weather. Just want to say that in the bullseye of this current storm, states such as Illinois, Iowa, Kansas, Oklahoma, Texas, Missouri, Wisconsin, Nebraska, Michigan, and throughout the Ohio Valley. So make sure that you're staying aware and prepared because this weather has been quite catastrophic. And over the next 48 hours throughout the heartland and Midwest, it's really going to be a serious situation. I'm going to go to next the headline regarding this Singapore Airlines flight where a passenger passed away because of the deadly turbulence.
Breaking news that we've been following this morning. At least one person is dead. Several others are hurt after severe turbulence on a Singapore Airlines flight. This happened several hours into the flight. It was from London's Heathrow Airport to Singapore. The plane was diverted to Bangkok, Thailand, where the injured were taken in for treatment. Holly Williams is following this for us from London. So, Holly, what can you tell us here about what happened?
Good morning, Anne-Marie and Lindsay. Well, as you put it, one person has been killed and several others injured on Singapore Airlines Flight 321, which was en route from London's Heathrow Airport to Singapore. Singapore Airlines says the Boeing 777 encountered severe turbulence and diverted to Bangkok.
Severe turbulence, family. What is going on in the air? Yep, Flight 321. They said it. A quick follow-up on the Iranian president and his foreign minister, as well as several others that passed away during this helicopter crash in the Middle East.
This Iran begins funeral processions for President Ibrahim Raisi, who was killed Sunday in a helicopter crash. Mourners surrounded the semi-truck carrying the caskets of Raisi and 5 others who died in the chopper crash. The bodies will be taken to Tehran later on today. Iran's supreme leader will preside over a funeral tomorrow. Prosecutors have warned people over showing any public signs celebrating the president's death. Raisi was a former hardline prosecutor with a direct role in ordering the executions of thousands of political prisoners in the 1980s.
Switching gears now, let's get over to Maria for Check of Our Tuesday.
Family, I can't help but to think when I saw the footage of this funeral, man, the world is a stage. Yes, it really is. Let's go over and get some information about these Israeli government officials. Yeah, they seized the equipment from the Associated Press. What are they trying to hide?
Breaking in the WRL Live Center, Israeli officials seized a camera and broadcasting equipment belonging to the Associated Press in southern Israel today. Israel accuses the news organization of violating the country's new ban on Al Jazeera. The satellite channel based in Qatar is among thousands of media outlets that receive live video feeds from the AP. The AP denounced the move, saying the shutdown was not based on the content of the feed, but rather an abusive use by the Israeli government of the country's new foreign broadcaster law. Shortly before that equipment was seized, it was broadcasting this general view of northern Gaza.
What y'all trying to hide, Israeli government? Meanwhile, back over here in the U.S. in Pennsylvania, we had a teenager that passed away because he was drinking some of that charged lemonade from Panera Bread. Those that follow my channel know I've reported on this situation several times before because there have been people who have lost their lives and they connected it to this charged lemonade that has all this caffeine. It's interesting because they're saying that it was a heart issue. And that's also what's going on with the Jetty jab. There are side effects because of this myocarditis. And this is a young teenager that had the same issue after he drank this lemonade.
This is 18-year-old Luke Adams, who survived cardiac arrest and multiple seizures, requiring him to be intubated. He ordered food and a large charged lemonade from the Panera in Monroeville before going to see a movie at a local theater. The lawsuit alleges while watching the movie, one friend heard Adams making unusual sounds before noticing he was unresponsive. 2 nurses and a cardiologist just happened to be in that movie theater. They used an automated external defibrillator, or AED, to shock Adams' heart. His cardiologist...
Family, what is really going on? I think we know. Those that have eyes to see and ears to hear, we really know what's going on here. But my question is, why hasn't this lemonade been taken off of the menu? I don't understand it, unless it's a pandemic. Meanwhile, over here in Dallas, we got this thugalicious bandit that didn't win rage on these 2 sisters.
Dallas police say a man who murdered 2 sisters admitted he did it in a rage. Maya and Jalissa Lockett were shot to death early Saturday morning following an argument. The suspect was dating one of the sisters. The sisters both leave behind young children who lost their moms.
Man, that's really so tragic. Young women, young men, this really isn't a time to practice celibacy. Yes, abstain from sex unless you're with your spouse, engaging with your spouse. That's the Most High's way. And if we do things the Most High's way, man, it's such a peace, a joy. My condolences to the family of those 2 young women because of this thugalicious demonic bandit. Okay, going over here to Arizona, an Amazon truck had an accident killing 2 of the drivers. My question is, what's going on with the Amazon trucks, FedEx, UPS? It's been so much in the news regarding these truck deliveries.
Also following more breaking news of that deadly semi-truck crash on I-10 right now. 12 News journalist Jonathan McCall just arrived at the scene. And Jonathan, what's the latest on this?
Well, the east lanes of Interstate 10 right at 339th Avenue still closed right now, Tram. But as you can see, this is Interstate 10 completely shut down in this area as investigators try to piece this together. We do know that 2 Amazon workers killed in this crash this afternoon. Just spoke with an Amazon official. They tell us that they are now aware of this crash and have started their own internal investigation into what started this.
I bet Amazon is doing their own internal investigation. It's been a lot going on with these delivery trucks. Meanwhile, over here in LA, family, y'all got to check this out. We got a Thugalicious bandit that then carjacked the popo. I'm serious. I can't make these things up. He carjacked the popo.
And our top story on this Sunday at this hour, chaos in downtown LA after a suspect steals a police vehicle while the officer is still inside.
KTLA's Annie Rose Ramos is live at the scene with all those details. Annie Rose, good morning.
Ladies, good morning to you both. All of this happening right in the middle of the night at 12th and Figueroa. That's where it started. And Megan, as you mentioned, exactly right. It started with that suspect stealing a police car with a female officer still inside of it, eventually colliding with these two vans that you see behind me. You can see just the level of destruction to both of those cars. And then eventually that suspect slamming a police car into a pole half a block up the street here on Figueroa. Police sharing more details of what happened here a couple of minutes ago. Take a listen.
Did y'all see all that mess he left behind and all that destruction? He didn't carjack the popo with the popo inside. Oh my goodness. I guess she got caught slipping trying to order some Krispy Kremes. Anyway, this story here is out of Florida, and this is a warning. Check your luggage before you go on vacation so that you don't have any like stray bullets like laying around in your luggage before you go off to the Bahamas or the Turks and Caicos, because you don't want to be in the situation that this woman right here in Florida found herself in.
Sharita Shanice Greer enjoyed her first trip to Turks and Caicos Islands Mother's Day weekend with her daughters, but it ended badly.
That day turned my whole life upside down. Just that quick.
She was arrested at the airport May 13th after security found 2 bullets in her bag.
It was an honest mistake. It fell up under the bottom of the flap on, in my carry-on. And there was no way possible that I could see it because it's a flap in the bottom. They took the bottom of the flap out the bag. That's what the 2 rounds was in the bottom of that flap. So there's no way that I would have knew or seen them in there.
Greer says she works as a store manager and has a gun for protection that she had kept in that bag before. She says TSA in Orlando searched her carry-on before she left and confiscated her lotion and body spray, but didn't catch the ammunition.
They dropped the ball. They failed me because if they would have been on it, it would have never went this far. It would have never went this far.
Yeah, Florida, y'all dropped the ball on that. How the bullets went, through y'all security, but then when she got in the Turks and Caicos, they found them. Family, wake up. They let you know how flawed the system is. And then they got the nerve to take her good body spray and lotion. That's what I'm upset about, because when you go to Victoria's Secrets and and they got that sale going on too, and you get your good body lotion and spray, and you are ready for your vacation in the Turks and Caicos, and then they take your stuff at the airport. Come on. That's what I'm upset about. Meanwhile, over here in Memphis, now this is how we know, family, that we are truly living in the last days. We are living in the end of an era, because the Graceland Mansion, the home of the King of rock and roll, Elvis Presley, is up for foreclosure. So let's take a look at this, y'all.
Elvis Presley's home, tourist destination, and major landmark in Memphis is up for sale. A lawsuit filed in September 2023 claims the King's late daughter, Lisa Marie Presley, signed for and failed to pay back a $3.8 million loan using Elvis Presley Enterprises in Graceland as collateral. Nasani Investments alleges Presley took out the loan in May 2018 and had until May 2022 to pay it off, but they claim they haven't been able to get in touch with her since March 2022. Presley died last January. Fast forward to...
Wow. Family, I tell you, they was taking out like mortgages on that mansion left and right. And the creditors got upset. They was like, look here, that's it. That's it. We about to foreclose because these tornadoes is hitting this part of the country. We need our money. Pay up. Oh my goodness, so much going on. But if you ever needed a sign, there you go. Family, that's our top 7 and 7 for today. But before I leave, I got to give you some encouragement with all this craziness and this foolishness that's going on. So Sister Chayah would not let you leave here empty-handed. Let me give you a precept of the day, because we got to keep going. We got to endure to the end. Hallelujah. Shabbat Shalom, family. This is Sister Chayah the elect, and I'd like to share some wisdom with you regarding true prayer from the Holy Scriptures in the seal portion, chapter 22, verses 57 and 58. Now, I would that you should know that to pray always means that we are constantly aware of the commandments of God and that we are continually striving to keep them so that we may have this Spirit to be with us. And obedience is the attitude of prayer, for it is by obedience that we obtain the Spirit, and it is by this Spirit that we receive all things which we need to make us happy. And the thing that shall make us happy is the fruit of the Spirit. That is your Melchizedek News precept of the day. Hallelujah. Hallelujah. Family, that is your Melchizedek News top 7 and 7-ish for this Tuesday, May 21st. And remember, the hashtag here on the Melchizedek Network is real love and pray for all. Well, real love, real respect, and then pray for all. I will see you all this evening because I'm going to come back and report on this severe weather. And I'll see you soon. How about that? I love you all, and shalom.